Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Who is excited? It's another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour, and I am very, very happy. I sincerely apologize for coming on later than I should. There were unforeseen circumstances. Thank you very much. I see that Rebecca is watching. You are always on time. I see Pavenu, you are here today. You joined live today. Thanks for tuning in. Favor, thanks for joining. Oh my goodness. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are going to have an amazing time today, as always. It's Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. And today we are going to be discussing the different shades of kindness. Kindness and its different shades. Angel Leonard, thank you so much for tuning in. Wow, amazing people on here tonight. If you're excited, please type I am excited. Let me know. I am excited. We have a lot to learn tonight. Tell me, I am excited. Let's go. And if you've not shared this link, please go on ahead and share this link and invite people who need to be on this live session. Let's go. Let's go. I am waiting for your comments. Let's do this. I am excited. Let me know. Angel Leonard, I see your comment. I am excited. I am quite excited too. Thank you very much for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate you. Lucky James is here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for joining. So tonight, quickly, let's get started. Prince Salvation Hope, thank you very much. I see that you're excited. I am pumped up too, even though it was a very stressful day, but we are here and we are doing this. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you have your pen and your paper because we are going to learn a whole lot. So many of you think that kindness is what it is not, and I'm here to bust your bubbles. That's what I like to do, busting your bubbles. I'm here to make you see kindness through different lenses. I'm here to show you the different shades that kindness has. Well, it has a lot of shades, but I'm going to share with you just a couple of them, not all of them, because it is inexhaustible. The list is inexhaustible. All right, Rebecca, I see that you're excited. Chabala, I hope I got that correct. I see that you're here. Is this your first time? Let me know. Prince Salvation Hope, is this your first time? Let me know. Who are the first timers? Let me know. This is Honest Conversations, and we're going to be very, very honest and plain because that's what we do here. We talk about those things that people don't usually talk about, but we talk about it here so that we bring it to our awareness so that we can live better lives. All right. A lot of other people are interested in your professional life. I don't have much business to do with your professional life. I am a lot more interested in your personal life. I am here to help you achieve personal wellness. All right. I am here to help you flourish in your personal life. So let's get started already. This is kindness, right? So let me know, what is kindness to you? How do you define kindness? How do you define kindness? Let me know. Paveni, Japan. I know it's your first time. You always watch the replay. You only always watch the replay. But I'm glad you're here tonight. It's good to have you. Angel Lona say it's your first time. Wow. I'm happy you're here. Kisses. Prince Salvation says, yeah, it's my first time. Wow. Wow. So many first timers here. Lucky James, please give them puff. Okay. And Zobo, let's get started. So tell me, what is kindness to you? When you hear kindness, what comes to your mind? How do you define kindness? I have a couple of definitions here, but I want to hear from you first. How do you define kindness? How do you define kindness? What would someone say, what would someone do and say that the person is kind? What disposition would someone have and you say that the person is kind? How do you say, are you a kind person? What would what would be your disposition before you say that you are kind? And Leonard says, kindness is the act of going out of your way to show love to people, regardless of who they are. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that Beautiful definition. I wasn't expecting it. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Lonas. I absolutely love that definition. Chabala says it's your first time too. Don't worry, your Zobo and your Puff Puff is coming. All right. So let me know. Let me know, guys. What is kindness to you? What is kindness to you? So while I wait for your comments, so that we don't take a lot of time here, while I wait for your comments, I'm going to read out a couple of the definitions that I have here. Pavenu Japan says kindness is showing care or concern towards someone. Thank you very much. Prince Salvation Hope says kindness is the true act of life, being generous and considerate. Thank you very much. Those are very beautiful definitions. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate them. So let me read out a couple of those that I wrote here. Kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate, right? More like in tune with what Prince Salvation said. It's the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. The second definition that I have here is the act of being caring and warm in spirit. Okay, I'm just going to read through the definitions that I have here. Another one is choosing to do something that benefits or helps others or yourself, motivated by genuine warm feelings. All right. Wikipedia says that kindness is a type of behavior marked by acts of generosity, consideration, or concern for others without expecting praise or reward. I'm going to take that again. Kindness is a type of behavior marked by acts of generosity, consideration, and concern for others without expecting praise or reward. The other one says it is a behavior marked by ethical characteristics, a pleasant disposition, and a concern for others. Now, there are a couple of things that makes kindness what it is. It is genuine. It is genuine. It is out of pure concern, right? And you're not expecting any reward. It is genuine. It's out of pure concern, whether for yourself or for others, and you're not expecting any reward. If you render any good act and you're expecting anything, no matter how little, like a thank you or a God bless you or any other kind of reward, you are not being kind. I wouldn't call that kindness, because kindness in its entirety is no matter the good that you've done, you're not expecting any praise or reward. All right. So, what is kindness not? What is kindness not? You know, a lot of people, when we hear kindness, we think it's all about being good and being nice. Kindness is not niceness, okay? Kindness is not being nice. I'm going to start with that. Being kind is not being nice. Being nice means you're pleasant and acceptable. You do things that make people like you, right? You do things that make you acceptable by people. But that is not kindness. That is just being nice. Being nice is more like you're doing things for the approval of others. I wouldn't say I'm a nice person. Yes, I can do nice things, but I wouldn't say that I'm a nice person. I would rather call myself a kind person instead of nice. I'd rather be kind than nice. When you are nice, you're doing things so that others will accept you, or so that others will praise you, or you receive a kind of reward or something. Kindness is not being nice, all right? Being nice means being pleasant and inoffensive. You don't want to offend anyone. That is, you're being nice. Sometimes you have to offend someone out of kindness. I'm going to get to that, all right? So being kind is not being inoffensive. Being kind can be offensive. So when you are being nice, you are being pleasant and inoffensive. That is, I wouldn't call that kindness. It is just not kindness. You cannot be seeking approval and you say you are being kind. You cannot be doing things just for others to think that you're a good person and you say you're being kind. That is not kindness. Remember, kindness is from genuine warm feelings. Your motive is what makes kindness what it is. If it is not pure, if it is not genuine, if it is not out of genuine concern, it is not, I wouldn't call that kindness. All right. Kindness is not letting others walk over you. Kindness is not letting others walk over you. It doesn't mean being a doormat for people. Last week we talked about boundaries. If you've not watched that video, please go back and watch it after this session. Kindness doesn't mean being a doormat for people. It doesn't mean losing yourself in your bid to render an act of kindness. No, it doesn't mean that you have to be at everyone's beck and call for you to be called nice. No. Kindness does not mean putting every other person first and doing what every other person wants at the detriment of your own values or at the detriment of your own needs. I said needs, I didn't say wants. Kindness is not being a doormat for other people. Please hold on to that. It is very, very important, because some people are going to emotionally blackmail you. Oh, I thought you said you're a kind person. I thought you said you're a Christian. You're supposed to be kind. In other, while they are, while what they're asking you is something that goes against your values, goes against your belief, and does not even have any regard for your own personal needs. They're asking you to go out of your way. Now, going out of your way now is different. This one I'm talking about is different from doing something that you wouldn't ordinarily do. But this one is doing something that clearly contradicts who you are, what you stand for, just to please other people. That is not kindness. All right? Kindness is finding compassion and understanding for where the other person is in their lives and their journey, while maintaining your own boundaries and respecting your own needs. If you need to write that down, I'm going to call it again. Kindness is finding compassion and understanding for where the other person is in their journey, in their life's journey, while maintaining your own boundaries and respecting your own needs. You don't have to get out of your boundaries. You don't have to bring down your boundaries or tear down your walls that keep you safe in order to be kind. No, you don't have to disrespect your values in order to be kind. No. When you are doing that, you are breaking your boundaries. You are just setting yourself up for perpetual resentment, because over time you're going to feel burnt out. Again, I would refer you to the video that we did on boundaries, the conversation that we had on boundaries. It's going to help you a whole lot. All right. So now that we see what kindness is and we see what kindness is not, I want to tell you types of kindness. I like enumerating my stuffs. Types of kindness. These ones are my own classifications. The first one is intrapersonal kindness, and the second one is interpersonal kindness. When we say intra kindness, what goes on with you, around, with you, something that concerns you as a being, as a person, right? Then interpersonal kindness is your kindness or the way you relate with others. But intrapersonal kindness is the way you relate to yourself and with yourself. All right. Then the other classification that I have here is the pleasant kind of kindness, the pleasant kind, the sweet kind of kindness. And the other one is the not so pleasant kindness. When we hear kindness, we think it's all about the good. It's always all about the good. But sometimes some forms of kindness don't look so good. Some forms of kindness don't feel so good. Some forms of kindness are not accepted to be that good because it can be offensive. I'm going to show you what I mean in a jiffy. All right. Now, personal kindness is types of things that how you can show kindness to yourself is through self-awareness, being aware of who you are, knowing what you stand for, setting your boundaries, and standing by them, right? Honoring your boundaries, your values, and everything that you stand for. Okay. Self kindness or personal kindness also involves not comparing yourself with others, not comparing your current journey with another person's current journey, not comparing your number one to another person's number 20, right? Personal kindness means talking to yourself with respect. It means knowing when a relationship has ended and loving yourself enough to walk away. Kindness to yourself means knowing when it is time for rest and when it is time for work and creating a balance. Personal kindness means taking your time out to recharge. Someone like me that always gives and gives and gives and gives. Over time, I'm going to get burnt out. So it is important that I'm kind to myself enough to create time that I take to time that I take out to recharge, to learn, to pray, to meditate. If I don't do this to myself or for myself and I'm busy pouring into others, it is only a matter of time before I run out. So I'm not being kind to myself, and as a result, I'm not being kind to you because I would be giving you from my reserve. I wouldn't be giving you from a place of abundance. I hope that is understood. Being kind to yourself means being generous to yourself. Loving yourself enough to spoil yourself. See, problems no dey finish. Permit me to use that. Problems, they finish. Being kind means being generous to yourself means taking yourself out. If you can afford it, taking yourself out. I do it. Sometimes I just go to my favorite place. What's it called again? Pinkberry. It's one of my favorite places in this whole world because of the Greek yogurt that I get from there. I just relax with some beautiful toppings, strawberry, kiwi, pineapple, white chocolate. I like white chocolate. I just relax and enjoy myself. The other time I took myself to Lekki Conservation Center, I had an adventure. And I'm taking my people there back this month. So if you are one of my followers and you're in Nigeria, you're in Lagos, get ready. We are going to be meeting. It's going to be a price that you pay to yourself. It's going to be a way of you being generous and kind to yourself. When I went there, I told myself, nah, this experience is too good to just be experienced by myself alone. I need to get my people here, right? So be on the lookout for an announcement on this, okay? So being kind to yourself, just taking a walk in nature, enjoying your me time, having a me time, having a time that you don't even check social media, having a time that you just meditate, you just look at how far you have come and tap yourself on the back. Being kind means paying attention to the things that you say to yourself. Remember when we talked about boundaries, right? And we talked about intrapersonal boundaries, the boundaries that you put by yourself for yourself, where you don't say mean words to yourself. Kindness looks like that. That is a shade of kindness. Knowing that some words you must not say, that there are some words you must not say to yourself. Knowing that, okay, I must not call myself negative names. I must always say positive things to myself. I must always look on the brighter side of life. That is being kind to yourself. Now, before we go into the different shades of kindness, I like this part. Before we go into the different shades and different faces of kindness, I want to tell you why kindness is important. Why is kindness important? I'm a preacher of kindness. I'm a preacher of kind acts, right? Why is kindness important? Why is kindness important? The first thing that I wrote here is that it lowers stress hormones. That's the cortisol. It's the flight or fight hormone. Studies have proven that when you render acts of kindness, when you render acts of kindness, your stress levels are reduced immediately because you feel good. That happy hormone is immediately released in your body just because you rendered an act of kindness to others. So it has effects on you and it has effects on others, on the person that you're rendering the act of kindness to. That is in the case of interpersonal kindness. All right. So it lowers stress hormones and it boosts your self esteem. It boosts your self-esteem. I noticed this by on my own, no, but I didn't read it anywhere. I noticed that at any point that I perform an act of kindness, or I was kind to anyone, the way I feel good about myself is always unparalleled, just because of kindness. So some psychologists call it the helpers high. The helpers high. That is the hormone that is released when you perform acts of kindness, or the way you feel when you perform an act of kindness. You feel good about yourself, and that in turn boosts your self-esteem. So let's say you were feeling bad or you were feeling insecure and you immediately performed an act of kindness. In that particular moment, you will feel good about yourself immediately, and you see that even though your head was hanging low before, it becomes a little bit lifted. Pay attention to that. You're going to see that it is true. Everything that I've written here are experienced by me and researched, proven to be true. Another one is that it boosts productivity. It's still tied back to the hormones that are released when you perform acts of kindness, right? When you do that, you feel good about yourself and you feel like you can do anything. Oh, I feel good. I feel good. Da, na, 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 na. So good. That song can be imbibed or adopted when you perform an act of kindness. It makes you more productive. It has been scientifically proven. It makes you a lot more productive. Being kind, just being kind. All right. Kindness often leads to good life. How do I mean? People who talk negatively to themselves are more vulnerable to depression and anxiety. This is a fact. This is a proven fact. So it is a truth. People who always talk negatively. Now, this is intrapersonal kindness, right? People who always talk negatively about themselves, to themselves, who always say mean things to themselves, they are more prone to depression and anxiety than others who don't. So why do you have to make yourself susceptible to such negative emotions by yourself? Because of the words that you say, because of the thoughts that you allow to breed in your mind. Why? Why? No, tell me why. Maka, why? Kindness makes a better world. This is my all-time favorite. Kindness, it makes a better world. How do I mean? When you perform an act of kindness, there's a ripple effect that it creates. There is a ripple effect that it creates. I remember to celebrate my 25th birthday, I went to a secondary school to donate sanitary pads to the young girls there. And we had, I went with a medical doctor and we talked to them. We sensitized them on female reproductive health and all that. But me going to that school was a ripple effect of what happened when I was in secondary school. Let me tell you how. When I was in secondary school, when I was in JSS 2, JSS 3, a group of people came to our school with always pad, and they talked to us, they sensitized us on female reproductive health. Because they came to my school and talked to us, I was very ready for whatever that was going to come. I hadn't started, seeing my period at the time, but I was already ready for whatever that was going to come. Now, when it finally came, I was over the moon. That was an act of kindness, even though it was on a professional level. But that was a thoughtful act by that group of people to come and talk to us. Now, I was in that audience. I was very young. I was about 12, 13 at the time. Who could have thought that a 12-year-old girl would grow up 13 years after to give back because of what was given to her when she was 12? Who could have thought? It creates ripples. It creates a ripple effect. Kindness, it makes a better world. It makes our world a lot conducive for us. When we are kind, it is contagious. When we are kind, we lift the mood of others. When we are kind, we feel better about ourselves and we are more productive at work. When we are kind, we give others permission to be kind. When we are kind, we show others that not everyone that you meet in this world are bad. In a world where everyone is bad, in a world where it's as if negativity is the order of the day, being kind is a quality that everybody should seize or should strive to have. Why? Because a lot of people are having it hard. A lot of people are having it really, really hard. So it is important that you be kind. Now, this is going to take me to the different shades of kindness that we have. Different shades of kindness that we have. Different shades. It looks like a lot of things. So we're going to see the different, the shade that you are familiar with, the pleasant, shades of kindness that you're familiar with. And we're going to see also the not so pleasant shade of kindness that you are not so familiar with. All right. So let's get started. I wrote a few of them, about 30 shades of kindness. There are over 100, even 1,000 shades of kindness. What do I mean by shades of kindness? I mean different acts of kindness. What are the different acts of kindness? What are the different ways that we can show kindness to others? What are different acts that look like kindness? Because kindness is like a spectrum. It's a very, very broad spectrum. It's not one thing. It's a lot of things. So what are the different ways that we can show kindness to others? Are you ready? Let me know that you are ready. Give me the fire emoji. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Who is still on? I see that 7 people are still watching. So let me know that you are ready. Give me your fire emoji. Let's go. I'm not going to continue if I don't see your fire emoji. So give it to me. You're owing me a fire emoji. Let's do this. Right? Yeah. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Angelina, I see your fire emoji. Lucky James, I see your fire emoji. Mishek, I see your fire emoji. Faith Akoyi, oh, my beautiful sister is here. I see your fire emoji. Let's do this. Okay, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Yes, I'm fired up. Let's do this. So, the first thing that I wrote here, in no particular order, there's no one that is more important than the other. Okay, so it's not in ascending or descending order, in no particular order. Okay, Rebecca Nago, I've told you to tell me how this name is pronounced, but Rebecca, I see your fire emoji. So I don't bite my tongues trying to pronounce your surname. Asking a lost person if they need direction. If you see someone that looks like they are missing their way, please and please don't make it, don't turn the other way. Ask that person if they need direction, because most certainly they do. And they possibly do not know how to ask you. They might not know whom to ask, because many people are misleading. I've asked people for directions and I was directed to a different place. Thank God for Google Maps these days. So I don't ask anyone again. But if you see someone walking and seems to have lost his or her way, please walk up to the person and ask, "Hi, looks like you're new here," or "It looks like you missed your way. Are you looking for direction? Do you want direction? Where are you going to?" And pay attention and listen to what they have to say. All right? I'm not going to dwell on I'm not going to dwell much on the shades that we have here, right? Another one that I wrote here is giving up your seat on the bus to someone who needs it more. Giving up your seat on the bus for someone who needs it more. For those of us that live in Lagos and we take these BRT buses, you know that sometimes when you come early, you get to sit on the seats, right? But then when someone comes in and the person looks sick, or someone or a breastfeeding mom comes into that bus, or an older person comes into that bus, or someone who is using clutches walks into that bus, what do you do? What do you do? The best thing to do is, unless you are feeling sick, but if you are not, even if nobody seems to care, I think the best thing to do is to give your seat to that breastfeeding mom so that she can sit comfortably and breastfeed her child. Or you can give that seat to an older person. "Sir, please come and sit." I saw a video where a young man pretended to carry a baby. He was rocking an empty blanket. He was in a train, so he was busy rocking. A camera was recording. I think they wanted to see if people were going to offer him their seat. So he was there for some time. That some people were just watching and watching and watching. Then one young lady stood up and told him to go and sit down, and took his position. So when he sat down, he stood up again and told her to go back and sit, that it was an experiment. Now, he stood there for a couple of minutes. Nobody seems to care. But that young lady was able to offer her own seat. I mean, this wasn't going to cost anything, but most people don't even care. There is very little care in our world today. And we keep saying that we want a better world, that the people in the places of government are not doing well. Meanwhile, we that are the citizens, we that are humans, we that have the chance to show kindness are not even showing kindness. We're not showing empathy, and then we are calling on other people that are in the places of leadership. It doesn't make sense, because at some point we are going to be in those same places of leadership. So what happens when we get there? Well, of course, portray the same character that we're already used to. So it's important that we show kindness every chance we get. Another one is offering to make a cup of tea for someone at work. So if you work, Lucky James is asking, is it just me that can't see her? I think it's just you, or can't you all see me? Okay, so James, it seems something is wrong with your camera, so you might want to go out and come back. All right. So offering to get a cup. Let's say you're at work, and you and your colleagues are talking and talking, and you want to get a glass of water or a cup of coffee. You could ask, does anyone want a cup of coffee? That is an act of kindness. Did you know that? That is an act of kindness. Ask. One of them might say yes, and you may not know, it's registered in their mind. You might not know. Now, you're not doing this to buy anyone's approval. You're not doing this to be accepted by anyone. This is just you. You are just intentionally being kind. I don't like to call it random again, because I used to say random acts of kindness, but really being kind is intention. Being kind, performing an act of kindness it takes intentionality. So I wouldn't call it random. Kindness is not random. Acts of kindness are not random. They are well thought out. Okay, it's just that when you do it consistently, it becomes a part of you to always show kindness to others. Okay. Saying no sometimes. Now, this is the not so pleasant angle. This is the not so pleasant shade of kindness. What do I mean by this? Saying no. So you have a cousin who seems to be a drug addict, right? And every time this person asks you for money and you give him, let's say 1,000 naira, 1,000 naira every day, 1,000 naira, 1,000 naira, and you know that he is using that money to get drugs, using that money to get high, to smoke weed, to smoke cocaine, now not cocaine, to smoke whatever that gets him high, and it's not good for him. Being kind, remember, kindness comes from a place of genuine concern. You know that he's not using this money for food, which he was telling you, or which he usually tells you that he uses it for. You know that giving him this money is encouraging a negative behavior. So you have to say no. It is important for you to say no when you know that saying no will help the other person to sit up and make better decisions for themselves. When you know that saying no will put an end or maybe a pause to a negative habit that is killing someone else, just like this person that I just mentioned right now. Saying no also means saying no to advances that don't honor your own values. I talked about that early on. Saying no to advances that don't honor your values. If it makes you feel guilty, if it makes you feel terrible about yourself, if it would make you feel bad about yourself, then you have to say no. Do you understand? Being kind means helping another person in their journey towards a better life. So when you know that saying no to you, or when you know that saying no to me, maybe I'm asking you to help me do something, and you know that saying no to me will encourage laziness on my part, then it is okay to say no. Because you want me to be better. It comes from a place of genuine concern. So whatever it is that you know you do that will help that person do better or become a better person, do it, even if it means doing what? Saying no. I hope that is clear enough. Being kind also means standing up to a saucy fellow so that they can see where they are wrong. So if you have someone in your office who seems to be the boss, well, isn't the boss, but is parading him or herself as the boss, and this person is always bullying others, being kind means that you have to, I don't know, maybe borrow courage from me and stand up to that person, to that colleague who is always making demeaning comments about others, who is always saying hurtful words to others, who is always trying to put every other person underneath him or her. Being kind means standing up to that person and for others, so that this person will know that the world does not revolve around him or her. So I was going somewhere today and I entered the bus. I was sitting behind the driver at the extreme. So when he got to a particular bus stop, the people at my back, three hefty men, grown men, who were just making all sorts of noise, by the way, in the bus. So when they were about to alight, the man made a demeaning comment, a demeaning remark. He threw a demeaning remark at me. I was like, excuse me, am I the one you're talking to? Was that for me? His his friends, in quotes, now had to tell him, you were wrong. So they had to apologize to me on his behalf. So while they were walking, I heard them talking to him and telling him, that was wrong. You shouldn't have said that. That was being kind to him. I was being kind to him and standing up for myself, because I'm not going to let anyone talk me down. So I was being kind to him, and I was being kind to myself by not allowing anyone make me feel less than. Does that make sense? Now, this is the not so pleasant shade of kindness. Teaching people lessons. Yes, teaching them lessons so that they can be better human beings, so that they can treat others with respect. Yes, kindness looks like that. Does that hurt? Kindness looks like that. Another shade of kindness is giving compliments. I'm huge on compliments. If you've been following me for a while now, you're going to see that I talk about compliments and compliments. I like to say that compliments don't belong to me. They belong to the person who has them, to the people who have them. So if I look at you and I see that you are beautiful, I need you to understand, first of all, that people are insecure. A lot of people are insecure about themselves, about their bodies, about what they are putting on. A lot of people are insecure about their journeys. A lot of people are insecure about where they are in life. So when you see something good about anyone, whether it's an attribute or a feature, please be quick to give compliments. So during the conference, during the Next Voices conference at VI that I attended last weekend, so I was with Choma Nana, a friend of mine. We met for the first time at the conference. So she told me, Chinaza, after spending the previous day with me and the next day, which was the second and final day of the conference, we were at the poolside eating. And she said, Chinaza, do you know, if I were to stay with you for the next 1 month, I'll be walking like this. I was like, what do you mean? She said, you compliment a lot. Are you intentional about that? I said, well, maybe I've trained myself to compliment a lot. So now it comes natural to me to be quick to give out compliments. That is good. People should not sit with you. People should not spend time with you and not feel good about themselves. I mean, the right kind of good and not the being nice kind of good. Do you understand? Because we already agreed that being nice means being inoffensive and being pleasant and acceptable and agreeable, which is not always good. But being kind means telling them what is true about themselves in the best way possible. All right? So be quick to give compliments. If you see that my hair is fine, tell me, Tina, that your hair is fine. Because you don't even know if I thought it's fine, it's beautiful enough. I might have just finished making this and I'm thinking, this hair does not fit the shape of my face. But you telling me that I look beautiful, but I'm not telling you to tell me. I'm using myself as an example, right? But you telling me that I look beautiful in this hair or this hair looks good on me will make me feel more confident in myself. Some people have diastema, that is, we call it open teeth, and they are very insecure about that. If you compliment it, if you like it about that person, please tell them, oh, I like your diastema. I do that a lot. You like the way someone walks? I like the way you walk, regardless of the gender. Regardless of the gender. Be quick to give compliments. They are not yours to keep. So give them out. Or you will choke. Do you want to choke? I don't want to choke. So be quick to give compliments, all right? Another shade of kindness is smiling to people. Smiling to people. Smiling to people. You see, I'm learning to do this. I don't do it often, but I'm learning to do it. So when you come into a room and you notice that maybe you're invited to a party and you notice that there's someone who is at the extreme or somewhere alone, you could just, you know, walk to the person, maybe, hi, I think you look good. You could just get your seat and sit close to that person or engage the person in a conversation just to brighten his or her mood. Or maybe you're in a bus and your eyes and someone else's eyes meet. You just smile. I do this one. It's not left for the person to reciprocate, but I do it a lot. All right? Smile, smile. Now, another thing I need you to understand is that smiling also makes you approachable. It makes you look friendly. It makes you look comely. All right? And when you smile also, you are tricking your mind to believe that all is well because the mind doesn't even know what is real and what is not. So smile. Not that kind, but you get what I mean? All right, let's continue going. Another way of showing kindness is by offering a listening ear. See, it's not every time that people want to hear your 1 cent of advice. It's not every time that I want to hear you tell me about how you've had more experience than I have. It's not every time that I want you to tell me how I should go about a problem. Sometimes I just need someone to listen. Oh, I do that a lot to somebody. I'll be like, I'm having a very bad day and I want to rant. Yes, I do it. I'll tell the person, I'm having a very, very bad day and I want to rant. I want to talk. So whether the person says talk or not, I know that he's already ready for me to talk. So I'll start talking. Whether I'm typing or I'm sending voice notes, I'll start talking and talking and talking. And the person comes online and sees me typing and typing. The person will just be reading and reading and reading. Or I could just call the person on the phone. I want to talk. I'm not having a good day. You understand? So I just talk and talk and talk. The person just gives me a listening ear. And when I'm done talking, I'm fine. I'm not asking you to advise me. And I've had people also who call me, ma, please, can I talk to you? Yes, you can talk to me. So the person talks and talks and talks and talks. All they want is a listening ear to know that someone cares. And when when they are done, I ask them, do you want my advice? Do you need an advice or are you okay? Majority of the time they are okay. So be quick to give a listening ear. Please understand that people have troubles. People have things that bother them. So when you listen, you are helping them to lessen the burden in their heart. Because when you talk, you are letting go of what is in your heart and you are embracing healing. All right. Another way of showing kindness is by giving hugs. I give hugs a lot. When I meet anyone that that follows me on offline, and they like, Chinaza Favour, is this you? The first thing is I'll just open my arms. We hug. Let's hug first. It's my way of being kind. It's my way of making them comfortable with me. Because most times when they see me, they're like, I'm not sure how to, you could tell from their body movement. They're not really sure how to relate to me or talk to me or how to, whether they have to be formal or informal. So I, first of all, extend that warmth to them. When you have a friend who is going through a difficult time, you could just hug them. Hugs are therapeutic. It's just that in this part of the world, it's been seen as it is seen as something bad. I don't see hugs as something bad. I hug anyone and everyone. Anyone and everyone, male or female. I just hug because I know the power of hugs. I know the power of hugs. And if you're a parent here and your child is throwing tantrums or your child is crying or doesn't feel good, just hug the child. keep the child in your arms for some time and you feel their heart rate reduce, calm down. So hugs go a very, very long way. Another shade of kindness is to express empathy. Pravini is laughing at me. Yes, but I'm done talking. I'm fine. Really. She says, I must admit, I started watching you speak. Okay, I must admit, since I started watching you speak, my eyes have been on your head, you. Good vibes. Just felt it wasn't going to be okay for me to give compliments yet. Avoiding distraction. Well, that was very considerate of you. Thank you very much. All right. So, another way of showing kindness is by expressing empathy. Expressing empathy. Empathy is not agreement. Empathy does not mean that you agree with me. Empathy just means putting myself in your shoes or putting yourself in someone else's shoes so that you can understand their perspective, so that you can understand what they are going through. This will help you. That should have even been the number one, but like I said, it's in no particular order. Empathy is the bedrock of kindness. It is the basis for kindness. Understanding that people go through different phases. And when someone talks to you or you see someone going through a difficult time, you are able to put yourself in that person's shoes and you're able to relate to them the same way you would have loved to be related to if you were in their shoes. Does that make sense? That is empathy. Another one, this one is very, very important. For those of you who have friends who are new moms, this is very important. Please pay attention. I remember when I had my baby. Oh, it was a beautiful time, but it was a very exhausting time at the same time because you have a newborn baby who is always dependent on you. You have a child who doesn't want any other thing but your presence, your warmth, your skin. So for me, I was carrying my baby on one hand and I was walking on the other hand. Then sometimes I would use the baby carrier, but then I wouldn't be able to bend to clean the house and all that. So, and my baby didn't sleep more than 5 minutes at a stretch. He didn't sleep more than 5 minutes at a stretch. So when I try to rest and I hear the doorbell, I just feel like crying. Why? Because I want to rest. And when these people come, right, they want me to keep them engaged. They want me to, you know, offer them cola because they are visitors, right? But please, if you have a new mom in your life, if you have a friend who just gave birth, do you know the best thing you can do for them? Okay, the best two things you can do for them is to give them space. You could call them and, check on them. How are they doing? Is to give them space. Now, the very best thing you can do for them is to visit them, right? If you're close to them, visit them and ask them, how may I help you? How may I help you? How may I help you? You could look around, you see that, oh, okay, the dishes are yet to be washed. You go to the kitchen and do the dishes for her. Or you could tell her, give me the baby, let me carry for you, because I understand that you might have been awake for some time and you're exhausted. Because breastfeeding a child is not moi. It's not a day's job. So you could tell her, give me the child, let me carry for you while you go and rest, maybe for for an hour. Give me the breast milk. I'm going to feed him or her when he cries. But go and rest. Believe me, that is the best gift you can give to any new mom because they need rest. They need rest. And if you have a couple who have a child and they want to go on a couple's date, but they don't have anywhere to keep their child, you can offer to babysit their children for them so that they can go and, have a good time. I mean, these things don't hurt, though they don't. Another shade of kindness is taking over a chore that is not yours. So if you're married and there is something that your husband would normally do, and it's something that you can do, you see that he's taking longer than necessary to get home, and you know that when he gets home he's going to be tired, you do that for him. Or you have a wife. I don't understand actually why it's only the women that do the cooking, because everyone eats. But if it's in a home where it is the woman that normally does the cooking, right, and your wife is out and she's not yet back, she called you that she's stuck in traffic or they're being delayed at the event she went for, please don't keep your kids hungry. Make food for the family, feed the kids, bathe them, and get them ready for bed. Put them to sleep so that when your wife comes back, she can easily bathe, eat, and rest with you. Take up a chore that is not yours. If you have siblings and one of them seems not to be able to do her chore at the moment, take it up and do it. You're not going to die, are you? These are random acts of kindness that make a whole lot of difference. I've told this story before. Last year, when I was about to launch my first book, Who Are You Really? My sister, I was usually the one who would take care of the kids, my sister's kids. I would bathe them once it is evening. In fact, I was responsible for them. So that day I was going to launch my book. I was very overwhelmed because things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. So when my sister saw that I was not in the best position to take care of those children at the time, even though I had put water to boil, she told me, Chinaza, okay, relax, focus on this. Okay, focus on the launch of your book. I'm going to feed the kids and bathe them and get them ready for bed. You see, I'm still telling that story since last year, March, because it was a huge deal for me. I thanked her over 100 times because of that. And she was like, this is nothing. It's not like you are the only one who has these kids. These kids are our own collective responsibility. But we all know that it was my responsibility actually, but she took it up. I'm still telling that story because it still means something to me. Take up a chore that is not yours. It goes a very long way in the heart of the other person, especially when they are not in the best position to do that thing and you do it for them. It is a huge act of kindness. All right. Another one is to not say I love you when until you mean it. So I'd rephrase that to say I love you and mean it. Don't say I love you and do something contradictory. That would be hypocrisy. So you don't have to say it if you don't mean it. Say it only when you mean it, so that it will make sense. All right. Another one is to, I know you have people that you stay with, friends that you have friends. Once in a while, you might have heard them say that, oh, my phone's screen is really bad, or my phone's casing is terrible. Oh my goodness. Do you know that my button got spoiled? Oh my God. Do you know I don't even have anything to eat? Oh, I forgot my wallet at home. They weren't telling you, they said it in passing, right? They weren't telling you for you to do something about it. They said it in passing. Now, if it's something that you can provide a solution to, do it without them asking for it. There's something about performing an act of kindness that you're not asked for. There's something huge about doing something when you are not asked for it. It bears more meaning to the people that you render those acts to. Does this make sense to anyone? Has this happened to you before? So maybe you are in a relationship and your significant other, you heard him or her say, I was walking past that store. You know that store down the street, and there's this beautiful shoe that I saw. Oh, I would really, really like that shoe. So I'm saving up to buy that shoe. And the next day you can afford it. The next day, or maybe a day to their birthday, you got that shoe for them. How do you think they will feel? how do you think they will feel? Or if you were the person that what you are hoping to get was gotten for, and when it was given to you, they told you, I heard you say that you needed it, so I thought it would be nice to give it to you. How would you feel? I would feel on top of the world. I would feel over the moon, personally, and I'm sure you would feel the same. That is an act of kindness, a beautiful one at that. Another shade of kindness is being less judgmental. I mean, we are all judges in this world. I don't even know who made us judges. I don't even know which court we are practicing in as judges. We are so quick to judge. We are so quick to criticize. Who has made us judges? Now, this is not to say that you cannot criticize something that is bad, but we are quick. We are too quick to judge. We are too quick to throw stones. Sometimes you just don't even need to be in that circle where such criticisms or such discussions are going on. Sometimes you don't have to be the one that, like I was telling some of my friends some time ago, I told them that Jesus was in a position to throw stones at that woman who was caught in adultery, but he didn't. Now, the people who were judging her were guilty of one sin or the other, but they were judging. Okay? Now, even if you were sinless, like Jesus said, if you are without sin, be the first to cast a stone. Even if you were sinless, is it necessary to cast a stone? Is it necessary? Is it necessary? Because if you are in the shoes of that other person, if you had empathy, you would understand better that it's not necessary to cast stones. You would understand that this wouldn't be the kind of feedback or treatment I would want to receive if I was in this person's shoes. So why are you giving that same treatment to another person? It hurts. It hurts. Another shade of kindness is not talking lowly of anyone, taking gossip out of your mouth, out of your life. Not being in a circle where anyone is being talked about in a demeaning way. If you have to talk about anyone, please let it be in a way that lifts the person's reputation. If it is not, please walk out of that circle. Because if you don't, and you are absent, you'll be the next person to be gossiped about. So what's the point? Don't be in a circle that talks others down. Don't be that person. Pavenu says, my parents always feel relieved when I run certain chores without them asking me. You see, it's just a beautiful feeling. And you see, if you watch your mood, you see that you feel a lot better when they kind of, even if they didn't say anything to you, but I know that they'll be happy when they come back. Now you're not doing it to gain their approval. You're just doing it because you feel like doing it. It's out of concern. Thank you for that on behalf of your parents. All right. I have a couple others here. I have visit the less privileged, visit hospitals. That is a way of being kind. That's a way of showing kindness. Okay, if you can afford it, get something for the less privileged and visit. I mean, they cannot have enough. Even if you give them a truckload of groceries, they cannot have enough. There will always be need for them to have more. Don't say that they already have enough. Or I know someone who goes to a hospital and says, who is the longest staying patient here? He's told the person and he pays for that person's bill. So there are some people that when their bills are due, they cannot leave the hospital because they don't have the money to pay. So this person goes and pays those people's bills. Tell me why he will not be blessed. Now, he's being kind, right? But tell me why he will not be blessed. These people will not be able to pay him back. They don't even know who it is. He just pays and goes away. So the people are now told that your bill has been paid. so you can go. Tell me why the person will not be blessed. Another shade of kindness is carrying someone's bag or helping an elderly person carry their bags. Maybe you are walking and you see that this elderly person is carrying too many loads and it's preventing them from walking well. You can ask them, hey, Papa or Mama, where are you going? Where you're going far? Can I help you carry your bags? I understand that the world is evil, but I mean, everything that we do in this life is all risks, right? Everything, waking up in the morning and entering a bus that you don't know the driver, you don't know whether he drank, you don't know whether he's on a suicide mission. You still entered the bus hoping that he will take you to where you're going. That is a huge risk on its own. Entering a bike is a huge risk on its own. Walking down the street is a huge risk on its own because a car can fail the brake and hit you, right? So living is a risk. So you might as well just go for it. Help that elderly person cross the road. Help that blind person cross the road. Help that disabled person cross the road. You could ask. Okay, salvation says you might be misunderstood. That is why I said you could ask. I have helped someone carry her bags. Yes, I have helped someone carry her bags. An elderly person, and someone has helped me carry my bags too. One time I was walking home from, okay, I flew in from Lagos to Abuja with Joshua, my baby, and I was carrying the diaper bag. I was carrying my handbag with baby on one hand. I was carrying two other bags on the other hand. We were standing waiting for our luggage to be rolled into the hall so that we could walk out, right, to now go out, to now go home. Do you know what happened? An elderly woman walked up to me and was like, hey, young lady, I see that you are very stressed. Can I help you carry your bag? I said, yes, please. And she helped me carry my bag. In fact, she helped me get trolley and helped me out of that place. She paid for the trolley, helped me out. Now, that is kindness. I cannot finish talking about this act of kindness. A lot of things here also are like open the door for someone else, holding the door for someone to pass, donating your used items or new items to charity or your read books to library, negotiating less with local sellers. Those women that sell tomatoes, don't negotiate so much with them, please. When you go to a boutique, you don't negotiate that much. But when you come to the market, you negotiate a lot. Please be a little more kind, okay? And a couple of other things that I have here: wave to a stranger, forgive, write a thank you note. Sit next to someone that is alone at the party. Encourage as often as possible. Pray for others. These are different ways of showing kindness to others. I'm rushing it because we're already past 1 hour that is scheduled for this conversation. So I hope you got something from this conversation. I hope you're able to see that there are different ways through which we can be kind. The not so pleasant and the pleasant ways of being kind. Your own way of being kind to yourself and your own ways of being kind to others. Being kind does not have to rob you of your pride and your self-esteem and your self-confidence. No, it has to actually make you reinforce your beliefs, right? So if you makes you less than you feel that you are, it is not kindness. It is just being nice, and you're not supposed to be just nice. Okay, you have to be kind, right? So I hope you got something from this. I will be going off now, and I'll see you all next Thursday. Remember, Honest Conversations holds every Thursday by 9 p.m. So whether or not I put out a notification, please endeavor to come on here by 9 p.m. I will be here to have another conversation with you. And next week, we'll be having a very wonderful conversation. It is a secret. I'm going to announce it next Thursday or Wednesday, as the case may be. But endeavor to join me live again. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to share the link with your friends who need to read this. Okay, I love you very much. I love you, and I hope you have a very wonderful night's rest and have a very wonderful week till I come your way again. Chabala says kindness is not just a word in a dictionary, but an act of performing. Because I think kindness is beyond its definition in any dictionary. That's right. It's an act. It's a verb. It's not a noun. Just like love, kindness it's a noun. It's what you do, not just what you say. It's how you think. It's a state of being, right? It's intentionality. It's being intentional. It's choosing to be kind, even in the face of negative situations and circumstances, right? So thank you very much. I hope that you continue spreading kindness and helping the world to be a better place. I love you, and I hope you know that God loves you more. I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, same host. Bye, guys.